Here we go, guys. This is the, well, let's check it out and see. The anticipation is killing me.
Welcome to bonus day.
That's right. Here she be. Here she be. The Atomos Shinobi. I said bye-bye to the Ninja Inferno. I sold it a while back, like about a week ago. Let's crack this baby open. Wow, here we are. Look how tiny it is. Wow, now I came from the Ninja Inferno. This thing is tiny. Oh my gosh, it is so tiny. Oh no. I'm a little scared right off the bat of how tiny this is. But oh my gosh, it is like, it feels like it weighs a third of the weight of that Ninja Inferno. It looks like a little shrunken Ninja Inferno. I love it. This is how you can plug into the wall. Now, I was curious about that because I was looking on the reviews and I was like, there's no spot for AC power on that thing? But this makes a lot of sense. This makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to be filming all weekend with it, and it'll be in the future. Okay, so I've been shooting on the Shinobi for 2 days now, and I just wanted to share a little bit of my first impressions of working with this little guy. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with my channel, my first Atomos recorder was the Ninja Blade, and that was a 1080p only ProRes recorder, but it worked great with the GH4 because you could get 10-bit with it. And then after that, when I got the GH5, then I upgraded to the Ninja Inferno. And that thing I loved. I shot a lot of stuff on that. I took it everywhere. I used it on a daily basis, even with little videos like this. And I try to shoot every day. And I gave a little bit of a motivational speech yesterday. So if you haven't seen that, I urge you to check that out. Especially if you're in a position right now where you're a videographer and you're not booking a whole lot of jobs, maybe there's some little tips in there that hopefully will help you out. But let's get into the meat and potatoes of this little Shinobi. I got this Shinobi because I am getting my BIMC 4K finally on Monday. I was supposed to be here yesterday, but then UPS got stuck on the way to LA, I guess. But yeah, it's actually already shipped and it's going to be here. But my whole reasoning was for using the Ninja Inferno, even though it is a big hulking beast, I wanted to get the best I could get out of my GH5. So I would send the 4K 10-bit signal out to the Ninja Inferno, and then I could get ProRes HQ. And it's so much better for editing. You get double the amount of megabits per second, and it was just a great combo. But now, after getting the BIMC 4K, that is going to be my true cinema machine now because it can do ProRes and RAW internally. But as you all know, it has a fixed monitor. So this, I thought, well, I no longer have to use my GH5 as my cinema machine. It can go back to being run and gun, just completely handheld. And I'll just, I can essentially downgrade, but now that I've been messing with this, it's not really a downgrade, especially since I can already get RAW and ProRes on the BIMC 4K itself. Great little things about this. It actually has newer software than what was found on the Ninja Inferno. And the Ninja Inferno was updated. I constantly kept it up on the latest firmware. And I guess the firmware that Atomos is doing for the Shinobi and the Ninja 5 just isn't available for some of their older monitor recorders. So this one, it already has an update for it, even though it just came out recently. And so I updated the firmware immediately right out of the box. And this one has, it's a 10.01 is the software, the firmware update on it, and it just has some really cool features. I know that you could load LUTs in on the Ninja Inferno, but it was kind of a hassle, like kind of tedious. It wasn't as like intuitive as loading LUTs onto the Shinobi is, and I imagine it's the same way like that for the Ninja 5. I would hope so anyways, but they make it really nice. You know, I had this little extra SD card. It's a 16 gig, and I have lots and lots of LUTs, like 5 pages of LUTs, and I just clicked and dragged them all onto the little SD card, and then to load them up on here is really nice and convenient. It seemed to be way easier and quicker than what I remember having to do with the Ninja Inferno. And it's great. I was just able, I really don't mess around with LUTs too much, but having this and the convenience of how easy it was to load the LUTs onto this, I ended up having a lot of fun just loading each LUT and reviewing it and looking at it, and you have 8 little slots where you can put in each LUT, and now it's just preloaded with LUTs, and it's going to be perfect for when I get my BIMC 4K, because it's going to be great monitoring all that raw footage. And I did see some people saying like they don't really need LUTs with the BIMC 4K because it does Rec 709. Well, the Shinobi and the Ninja 5 and all the Atomos recorders, they do that as well. They have the HDR feature to monitor for HDR and to monitor for Rec 709 based on what camera you have. But I like the idea of using LUTs, and I'm not the greatest color greatest. Yeah, but it's true. So LUTs for me are kind of a godsend. So yeah, especially things like the GH Alex LUT, which I'm a huge fan for when shooting on the GH5 and Vlog, as some of you may know that already. So that was a really cool thing, being able to look at the LUTs. Another cool feature of this, and I pretty positive this wasn't available on the Ninja Inferno, is the side-by-side live view of your LUT. So as you'll see here, like I could load up a LUT and then live view monitor the raw footage next to the LUT. And I thought that was a really cool feature, and I don't believe that was available on the Ninja Inferno. There's also this new focus peaking thing that you can put it in like X-ray mode, but it's pretty awesome. Like you can, for me it's kind of nice because my eyes are a little tweaked out, a little whacked out. So this little X-ray focus peaking feature is pretty cool, where you can just black out everything else and just hone in exactly on what you want to grab focus on. And I just thought that was pretty nice, because sometimes no matter what color I choose for focus peaking, sometimes depending on how bright or dark your area is, it can be kind of like a chore having to pick the right focus peaking color. Whereas with this little, I'm just calling it the X-ray focus peaking, it makes it super fast. No matter what color you chose for focus peaking, it's just boom, oh, there's my focus, and then you can pop right out of that little X-ray mode. And I thought that was a really cool feature. And I'm almost positive that isn't available on the Ninja Inferno either. Now, I'm sure this is all just stuff with the new firmware, and I'm just sharing it for people that are interested in maybe purchasing the Shinobi or the Ninja 5, because I'm pretty sure they're under the same firmware. I'm pretty sure the only differences with the Shinobi versus the Ninja 5 is the fact that the Ninja 5 is also a ProRes recorder. And if you have the new Nikon, it's also a RAW recorder, which is insane. And then, of course, there's this new... let me see, what was the name of that feature? Find the manual so I want to know the exact terms of things. And I do remember, like, it wasn't even that, the term wasn't even that scientific or cool. It's a pretty normal term, what they call for this menu, but I just want to make sure I get it right. Multi-view. Yeah. So scientific. Okay, so there's this new feature called multi-view, and I'm sure you've been seeing this on some of the other reviews, but what I found the multi-view feature really essential for was for getting my own custom white balance. And how I was doing this is I can keep the image up, and I have my RGB histogram up, and I have my waveform up, but then with the vector scope, I can really fine-tune the white balance, especially on the GH5, because the GH5 has that feature where not only can you slide up and down with your white balance, but you can go left and right and up and down at the same time. And while watching the live view monitor with the multi-view option on the Shinobi, you can watch your vector scope while watching your RGB histogram, while watching your actual image. And it made it really nice for getting a really sweet custom white balance. And I really like that feature a lot. And another thing is the playback on this thing is actually pretty awesome. Not only does it look great, I mean, this is an HDR 4K monitor, but also it has a little headphone jack here. So I did playback in this example with just my headphones playing the volume. And also, I do apologize for the B-roll in this, because it was all shot with my iPhone, because I only have the GH5 at this moment. I sold the GH4, I sold the G85, and I'm waiting on the BIMC 4K. So I do apologize for the iPhone 6S footage, and it's a little shaky in my hand. But the playback on this is great, because if you have nice headphones, they can be loud enough if you have like cans. But also, you could just plug in like a little JBL speaker or any kind of speaker, and then you have like pretty cool playback, you know, for a low budget one-man band kind of situation, you know, so that makes it kind of nice too. It's raining here again in LA, so I didn't get to do a straight-on sunlight test to really test out the 1000 nits on this. But what I did do is just blast a 4-bank Kino at it with daylight bulbs, and you'll see there is a little bit of glare, but I think it was user error when filming on the iPhone 6 in the B-roll, because you'll see there, like, the glare was really a thing that just the phone was focusing on. It wasn't focusing on the actual image itself, because in real life, it wasn't bad at all. It just, the cell phone makes it look worse because it's focusing on the reflection. You know what I mean? Like, the cell phone was focusing on the reflection rather than the actual image. And in real life, the glare wasn't bad at all. But that's not really ever been an issue with any of these Atomos monitors. However, I will say the Ninja Inferno, I think, is more nits. I think the Ninja Inferno is 1500 nits. And on some really sunny days, it is a little bit hard with the glare, even with 1500 nits. So I imagine this one will probably be a little bit of a downgrade from the Ninja Inferno as far as nits and brightness goes. Another one last thing I will comment on this is the battery life is amazing. Now this one is a mid-size NPF that I was using on this, known as the NPF 750s. So these are the mid-size. So there's 3 different sizes of these things. If you're not familiar with NPS, I mean, if you work with Atomos or some monitors use these, a lot of LEDs use these as well. I'm just going to do a quick rundown of these batteries for people that don't know the difference. So there's these little baby ones, which are like the 550s. Then there's the mids, which are the 750s. And then you got the big daddies, which are the 950s. Now I will say the 950 was a tad too heavy and bulky for the little Shinobi. These I didn't really mess with, but I think they'll do well on the Shinobi, because let me tell you, the 750, which is the mid-size NPS, this thing is still only got, I've been using it for all of yesterday and today, and it just has the little top notch of the battery gone out of it. And I think a lot of that is due because, you know, this isn't recording. Because I do know that has always been a downside, especially on that Ninja Inferno. It would burn through so many MPFs on a you know, a full day, 12-hour shoot. I'd go through all of them, and I have a bag of these MPF batteries. And I bought so many because the Ninja Inferno was a battery whore. Where this one is, I mean, it's great. I went through 3 GH5 batteries, and I know the GH5 doesn't have great battery life, but I went through 3 full GH5 batteries, and I still only have a little bit tiny drained from this one on the monitor. So just to give you an idea, and I wasn't even recording with the GH5. It was just, you know, it was just on, and so I could get a signal to the Atomos. So whatever that means to you, I think right off the bat, the battery life is amazing on this thing, just from the 2 days I've been messing with it. The only con I will say about it is the, you know, it's not metal, and I know a few people have commented on that as well. And maybe one thing that would be nice, one of my friends suggested a cage. Just get you a cage for this, and I think that would be, not only, I don't really care for putting stuff on my monitor itself, because it does have 2 quarter 20s on each side, on the top and bottom. But I think the cage would be beneficial for this Shinobi just in terms of protection. So that's something definitely I will be investing in, and probably something you'll want to keep in mind if you plan on getting this one. But yeah, other than that, I'm super pumped. I can't wait to use it on the BIMC 4K. It's been really a pleasure using with the GH5, and I was thinking it was going to be a downgrade from the Ninja Inferno, but really, with these really cool features that I've talked about here today, I don't think it's a downgrade at all. I think it's a great run and gun monitor, and especially when you think the GH5 can do 10-bit 422 internally, then, you know, it's really nice. So with that being said, as always, thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe, and that'll help me out. And I do want to thank all of my subscribers. It's been really cool. I like all the comments, and I like how loyal everyone is. So thanks to you guys. You guys keep me motivated to keep doing the videos, so thank you for that, and catch you next time.